Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys.
Go. 180. 51. Watch the run.
Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's Sanders.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They cannot block them. Let's go.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. Working from the gun, Wentz. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. On the return is Cohen. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. The tackle there by Crayvon LeBlanc. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8. At the 30-yard line.
Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Come on, set. Get your line. Check, 47. Hey, here we go. Watch the pass.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Flush to his right. And he's going to go down again.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback.
Go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Here comes Cohen. Spins away. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Steps away to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. And you know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And able to find a little space. He gets this up over the 15 to the 16. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. The Eagles send out their punter now. Standing just about on his own goal line. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession. But likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that will skip out of bounds right at about the 18-yard line.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. This is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Jackson throwing again. The screen pass here to Cohen. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 9 yards on the second down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he finds Howard complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A gain there of 30 big ones. Not really any offense for them to speak of here in this first half. Maybe that's what they needed, that big play.
Yeah, it seems that maybe everything changes right there. They've been a little slow out of the gate. We've seen that. But that one big play, that could spark a big burst right here.
To throw is Jackson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Jackson. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox, his 2nd sack of the night. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup, 33 yards, as his guys are on the board first here tonight. Bailey got the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On second down now, it's Sanders. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked by Brandon Williams. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Ready? The mic, 4-7's the mic. Watch the run, watch the run.
Draw play, Cohen. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6 at the 29-yard line.
From the 29, Jackson. And now he'll tuck it and run. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, and his first carry of the game right there, he had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. On first and 10, it's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
They'll run on second down with Cohen. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Time here for likely 1 play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On second down, it's Anderson, and he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. So we reach halftime here at our first Monday Nighter of the season. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Right here.
They try again with Cohen. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
I got you, boy.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. 6 yards in the wrong direction that time. Not only that, but it brings up 4th. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They run again on 1st down. Anderson. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Wentz to throw. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat.
Whenever you see a team deciding to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, as a defensive player, my mindset is we've got them now, and that's why they dialed up the blitz and got after them.
But occasionally, you want to pass it on 3rd and 1. I mean, not a lot for sure, but sometimes just to keep the defense guessing.
Oh, no doubt. You want to break tendencies as you go along with a game because you don't want them to just say, oh, 3rd and 1, we know exactly what they're going to do. But in this situation, as an offensive lineman, as a running back, I'd want to know why I didn't get the football.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
Throwing is Jackson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him.
And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Flushed out right. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They go play action now. Jackson. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, 45 yards. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Man out. Come on. Watch out.
Wentz on the give to Sanders. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Another run with Sanders. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Running for it. Here's Anderson. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Arlington. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now Anderson. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On 2nd down now, it's Sanders. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot. Not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. 10th carry now for Anderson. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Anderson. Past the 20. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A big pickup of 38. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through, he's shredding them.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
Think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches are giving, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Following the touchdown, here's Moore to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 23-yard line.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson, he'll buy some time right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Here's Jackson to throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag.
Ready. 94 is the mark. Check.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really... And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Nigel Bradham flying in and laying the lumber defensively.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And that'll be off the crossbar and out. It's short. He couldn't get it there. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 38. Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now they toss that wide to Sanders. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give them a lot of confidence to help turn things around. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. They'll go again with Sanders. And an alley to run. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. Now Sanders. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. They'll run with Sanders. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. On 2nd down, it's Sanders. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Sanders. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down now, it's Sanders. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle. On 3rd down, Sanders. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for Dallas, it's a great win here on a Monday night as they'll start the new campaign 1-0.